The Moon Bride. In the days when spirits still walked openly among men and the sky seemed close enough to touch, there was a small village called Umadara, hidden deep between emerald forests and the silver waters of the river Nkem. The people of Umadara were simple folk. They farmed the land, fished the river, and gathered each night around fires to tell stories passed down from their ancestors. They believed every tree had a spirit, every river had a guardian, and every star in the sky was an eye watching over the earth. Above all, they revered the moon. To them, the moon was not just a glowing orb in the heavens. She was Anwa, the great mother of light, guardian of dreams, keeper of secrets, and protector of lovers. Each full moon, the villagers dressed in white and silver beads and danced in the village square until dawn, offering songs and prayers to the goddess who bathed their world in gentle light. And on one such full moon, a child was born. The moon that night was brighter than anyone had ever seen. Its silver glow poured over the village roofs like water. The river shimmered as though filled with stars, and the night birds fell silent, as if waiting. Inside a small mud hut, a young woman named Adaku labored through childbirth. As the baby entered the world, the clouds parted, and a beam of moonlight shone through the roof, falling directly onto the newborn girl. The village priestess, Mama Izina, who had come to assist with the birth, gasped and dropped to her knees. "She has been chosen," she whispered. The baby opened her eyes. They were dark, but within them flickered tiny points of silver, like stars reflected in still water. Adaku named her daughter Amara, which meant grace. Mama Izine looked at the infant and spoke words that would shape the girl's destiny. "This child belongs to the moon." Amara grew into the most beautiful young woman Umudara had ever known. Her skin shone like polished ebony. Her eyes sparkled with quiet wonder. Her voice was as soothing as flowing water. But it was not only her beauty that set her apart. Animals trusted her instinctively. Birds landed on her shoulders. Wild deer approached her without fear. Flowers bloomed where she walked, and each full moon, Amara would leave her sleeping mat and stand alone outside her family hut, staring up at the sky with tears in her eyes. When her mother asked what troubled her, Amara would answer softly, "I hear someone calling me." Amara's closest friend was Obina, the son of the village hunter. They had grown up together. As children, they chased grasshoppers through the fields and swam in the river on hot afternoons. As they grew older, their friendship deepened into something stronger. Obina loved Amara with all his heart. He admired her kindness, her courage, and the way moonlight seemed to cling to her skin. He dreamed of one day building her a home beneath the baobab tree and raising children who would inherit her gentle spirit. Yet he sensed that part of Amara belonged to somewhere he could never follow. Sometimes he would find her sitting by the river under the full moon, her face lifted to the sky. When he asked what she saw, she would smile sadly. "A home I have never known." On the eve of Amara's 18th birthday, Mama Izin summoned her to the sacred grove. The old priestess was waiting beneath an ancient Iroko tree, surrounded by smoking incense and flickering oil lamps. Cowrie shells lay scattered before her. She studied them for a long time before speaking. "The prophecy is fulfilled." Amara's heart quickened. "What prophecy?" Mama Azine's voice was solemn. "Long ago, Anwa foretold that a daughter born under the brightest moon would become the bride of the heavens. Through her, our people would be saved from a darkness yet to come." Amara stepped back. "You mean I must leave?" The priestess nodded. "On the night of the harvest moon, the moon prince will descend to claim you." The news spread quickly through Umadara. Some villagers rejoiced, believing Amara's union with the moon was a divine blessing. Others wept, mourning the loss of the girl they loved. When Obina heard, his world seemed to shatter. He found Amara by the river and seized her hands. "I will not let them take you." Tears filled Amara's eyes. "This is my destiny. Then I will fight destiny." Obina leaned forward and kissed her for the first time. The moon shimmered on the water as Amara returned his kiss, though sorrow weighed heavily on her heart. "I love you," she whispered. "Then stay." She touched his cheek. "If I refuse, our village may be destroyed." Obina lowered his head. defeated by a force greater than any man. The harvest moon arrived. The moon rose enormous and radiant, bathing Umudara in silver light. The villagers gathered in silence. Amara stood in the center of the square, wearing white cloth and strings of moonstone beads. The drums ceased. The wind stopped. Then a silver staircase descended from the heavens. Gasps filled the air. A man stepped down. He was more beautiful than any mortal, tall and regal, his robe woven from moonlight itself. His eyes shone like liquid silver. He bowed before Amara. "I am Prince Chinedu, son of Anwa." He extended his hand. "I have come for my bride." Obina stepped forward with spear in hand, but Amara raised her palm. "No." She turned to her family, her friends, and the life she had known. Then she placed her hand in Chinedu's. The silver staircase lifted them skyward until they vanished among the stars. Amara expected death. Instead, she found wonder. The moon kingdom stretched before her like a dream. Palaces of crystal gleamed beneath silver skies. Gardens bloomed with flowers that emitted soft light. Streams of liquid starlight wound through marble courtyards. At the center stood a great palace, whose towers sparkled brighter than diamonds. Prince Chinedu led her through its halls. "You are safe here." He treated her not as a captive, but as an honored guest. Days passed, though time flowed strangely in the Moon Kingdom. Chinedu showed her celestial gardens, taught her the names of stars, and told stories of ancient spirits. Amara discovered that beneath his princely dignity lay a lonely heart. For centuries he had searched for someone whose spirit shone brightly enough to share his eternal life. Gradually her fear faded. Friendship blossomed, then love. When Chinedu asked her to become his wife, Amara answered with a sincere heart. Yes. Their wedding was held under a sky blazing with constellations. Stars danced. Spirits sang. Anwa herself blessed the union. Amara became the moon bride. For a time she knew happiness unlike anything she had imagined. Yet her heart remained tied to the earth. One evening, standing on a silver balcony, she looked down and saw her village. Her breath caught. The river Nkem had shrunk to a trickle. Fields were cracked and barren. Children wandered, weak with hunger. Dark smoke coiled over the forest like a serpent. "What is happening?" she cried. Prince Chinedu's expression grew grim. "Ajo Muo, the shadow spirit, has awakened." "Why?" "Because many have forgotten gratitude. They take from the earth without honoring the spirits." Amara turned to him. "My people will die. There may be a way to save them." Chinedu led her to the Hall of Reflections, where ancient mirrors revealed truths hidden from mortal eyes. In one mirror, Amara saw herself weeping, her tears transformed into silver crystals. "The moon bride possesses sacred power," Chinedu explained. "A single tear shed from pure love can cleanse darkness and restore life. Then I will cry for them." Chinedu lowered his eyes. "The tear will carry part of your spirit to the earth forever. You may never again be whole." Amara did not hesitate. "My people gave me life. I must save them." On the night of the next full moon, Amara stood at the edge of the moon. She thought of her mother's embrace, of Obina's steadfast love, of children laughing in Umudara. A single tear rolled down her cheek. It glowed like a star and fell to the earth. The silver drop landed in the sacred grove beside the ancient Iroko tree. At once, a brilliant light spread across the land. The shadow spirit shrieked as its darkness dissolved. Rain thundered from the heavens. The river Nkem overflowed its banks. Crops rose green and vibrant. The people of Umudara danced with joy. But in the Moon Kingdom, Amara collapsed. Her body weakened. Her light dimmed. Chinedu held her close. "Was it worth the cost?" Amara smiled faintly. "They live." For the first time in centuries, Prince Chinedu wept. He carried Amara to the throne of Anwa. The moon goddess appeared in a blaze of silver. "You have proven the power of selfless love," she said. Turning to Chinedu, she added, "And you have shown devotion greater than immortality." Anwa raised her hand. "I grant a new destiny." From that day forward, Amara would belong to both worlds. For 6 months of each year, She would live in the Moon Kingdom beside her husband. For the other 6 months, she would return to Earth to walk among her people. Each full moon, a silver staircase descended to the sacred grove. Amara traveled between heaven and earth, carrying blessings wherever she went. Her mother embraced her with tears of joy. The villagers celebrated her return. Children followed her through the fields, laughing. And Obina, though his heart still carried old scars, greeted her with peace. "You were meant for the sky," he said. Amara squeezed his hand. "You will always be part of my story." In time, Obina married and raised children of his own. He taught them to look up at the full moon and remember the girl who loved enough to save her people. Years passed into generations. The silver crystal, formed from Amara's tear, remained in the sacred grove. It glowed brightest on full moon nights. The people of Umudara guarded it as a holy treasure. Whenever drought threatened or sorrow filled the village, they gathered beneath the moon to pray, and always they felt Amara's presence. Some claimed they saw her silhouette standing beside Prince Chinadu upon the moon's bright face. Others heard her voice in the wind, but all knew the truth. The moon bride still watched over them. Her story became a legend told across kingdoms, a tale of love stronger than distance, of sacrifice more powerful than darkness, of a young woman who belonged to two worlds and gave her heart to both. And to this day, when the full moon rises high and silver light washes over the earth, elders smile and tell their children, "Look carefully, for that is Amara, the moon bride, dancing among the stars."